We are here on the Hot 97 Morning Show with a guy who has. How would you describe this, Rosenberg?
What do you mean? What happened now?
What's happening right now?
Well, we're talking to Wale, and what happened on Friday was Complex released a phone call of Wale calling up, spazzing.
Thank you.
On them for not including them on their top 50 albums of the year. It was quite entertaining. It was one of the best spaz outs of 2013, just in the nick of time.
Sidebar, we will be ranking them on hot97.com, the best spaz outs of 2013. You just made that list.
Rosenberg.
You made Kanye proud, man.
You're trying to be #1,
So
man.
where do you want to go, Ebro?
Well, let's turn it over to Wale. What do you have to say to the people who have now heard this spaz out? You threatening a nerdy blogger.
That's rage, man. That's just, like, to be honest, if he was in front of me at that time, I would have went at him. You know, but I like I said, I'm not perfect, man. And I know nobody perfect. You know what I'm saying? Everybody tell you what they would do and what they could have done if they was me, but y'all not. You know, you don't know what you would do if you was in that position. You just coming off a monumental Grammy snub. You just ain't been Spin and all these other people. They not appreciating, you know, what you and your fans stand for. I take that personal. I work hard, man, and I'm around a lot of these artists that they promoting and stuff like that. They don't care about the game as much as I do.
When you say the game, which game?
The art form. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not for the money, dog. I love the music, and I love to do this for my fans because there's a core group of people that really follow what I do. You know what I'm saying? So when you doing stuff like that and you omitting me from these lists and these people spending hard-earned money to come see me rock out or come to my, you know, it's just like sports. You want to see your team win. You want to see your team be successful. You want to see your favorite artist. You want to have bragging rights for your artist. I don't think it's fair to those people, you know, for them to keep omitting me and, like, doing things, especially when it's coming from a place that's not really fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all could say, oh, Wale wine is that and third, but, like, if there's certain scales that you judging people on, let those be consistent. You know what I'm saying? If it's club records or if it's record sales or if it's, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let it be a consistent type of thing.
But isn't that impossible? I think the problem is you're comparing it to sports, which is quantitative. There's no real way to figure out. This is subjective at the end of the day. You can't get a win the way you would in sports because it's still just people deciding. They pick, the Grammys nominates 5 people a year. We know there's tons of people who made amazing music in the year. Right. It's all that's the thing.
That's
like,
true. You know, but at the same time, it's like you're commentating. You know, right now, like, it's different when you're in the hot seat, man. Like, I work hard. Like I say, man. Like, I like to give my fans something to be proud of, man. Like, that's real to me. So when you doing that and you just going about it and, like, I don't feel you're being responsible with your power. You know, if you're a gatekeeper, like, you got that, there's a responsibility that comes with that. You know what I'm saying? And I just think it's irresponsible to just do stuff. Like, you know, a lot of people have called me and just let, Complex don't like you. Like, I've known that. You know that. Why you care? Why? Like, and I'm like, that's your problem. Like, you're not being responsible. Like, a publication doesn't like me for whatever reason, so y'all about to just omit my entire existence or what I'm contributing to the game. That matters to me. Like, those kids that debate at the lunch table at school, like, Wale the best one. That matters because I was that kid at one point.
You feel like it's personal?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is personal. I think for you to. I mean, like I said, I don't want to even shed too much light to that publication, but a lot of there's a lineage of, like, things that I've seen, like, in the past couple of years that there have been red flags. I've talked to my publicist about it. They know, and she'd be like, it is something. I don't know what it is, Wale, but it is something.
Now, do you take any responsibility, whatever that something is, do you take responsibility?
There was a lot of things done during the Interscope days, me being wet behind the ears, that I just didn't know. I had poor media training, or I just didn't know.
Let's be honest. I've talked about this before. The first year in the game, your reputation in terms of interaction with people was not great.
It was different, though, because I'm coming from a city that we didn't have nobody. Like, when you come up in New York, I imagine you see a Fabulous in public, or you might see people, like, you might see what. There was none of that. I act like all the go-go band dudes. If you see them, you can't walk up to Big G in the streets, like, and just be like, yo, You know what I'm saying? He gonna be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what my mentality was. I didn't know. Like I come in and then I'd have like a friend that I grew up with that's with me, and we just be talking, we whispering to each other. Like when somebody comes out to me, I'm like, okay, like what?
But like you're socially awkward. You didn't know how to deal
and I
with
still am to an extent, but not as bad as I used to be.
I couldn't agree. I think you made a ton of strides.
But you got to learn though. It ain't that I'm a jerk or nothing. I just don't know how to.
So you take responsibility partly for the relationship that you have with Complex.
I think
before the Spaz.
Some of it is hearsay though, because I never had a direct interaction with them for them to, you know. But I have other theories. You know, I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist a little bit. So, you know, I believe that me and Cuddy's fallout has something to do with their lack of support.
Wait, you and Kid Cudi don't get along?
No, me and Kid Cudi, we had a fallout.
Yeah, you don't remember that?
Well, me and Cudi,
my man. That's hip hop nerd stuff, my G. I'm not.
Me and Cudi was real cool. I used to live in Soho, and Cudi used to live right up there. And I mean, we just did a whole lot of stuff together. We performed when we were like nobodies for the Michael Jordan Classic game, and I remember he was like, "Yo, I don't even wear Jordans. All I wear is Bapes." You know what I'm saying? Like, and we just bonded like from that moment on. And you know, we was just like this. And then, you know, he had a kind of a little.
Well, Cuddy's had some issues.
Yeah,
me and Cuddy had the back and forth over the way he did some things here at the radio station, but I let it go because I knew he was intoxicated.
Going through some things, right? So it was like, I feel like it's another thing about being responsible. You guys are claiming to be this man's boy. Y'all know he's in a certain space right now, and it's almost like they were perpetuating some type of war or some type of, you know, and at this time I'm just losing my first record deal, so I'm in an even worse place. So I just remember, oh, we don't rock with you musically, this, that, and the third, and I was like, it went viral, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like, damn, y'all getting my friend to kick me when I'm down, like, and y'all perpetuating it, y'all instigating it, so it hurt, you know, on so many levels, and mainly because it was somebody that I considered a close friend, and I just feel like that magazine, of which he has 5 or 6 covers from or something crazy like that, that's perpetuating this and making it a thing more than what it could be. So moving forward, they just still kind of always had this like elitist, like we don't like you thing, you know what I'm saying? And I really don't care. Like I'm not the type of dude, I'm not begging no Williamsburg hipsters to like me.
Hey, no, you ain't gotta take shots now. You ain't gotta take shots.
Okay, I'm not. None of that is insulting. A hipster's not a bad term.
He's messing with you, but I hear you're not begging them, but at the same time, it does bother you.
It's because it's like I make this work. I sequence my album. I went over everything 7-8 times. Made records like Black Heroes, Golden Salvation, because I want my fans to be like, yo, this is our guy. Nobody could tell us nothing about our guy. Like, watch when the year's over, everybody's going to tell you about our guy. I grew up in sports, dog. Like, I come through, I know, I come from the world of you get what you put in. You go to the gym, you on the track with the parachute every day in the summer, you going to lower your 40 time. You benching every day, you doing push-ups every day, you going to increase your bench press. I put in work on this album. I didn't even talk to Ross the whole duration of making the album. They thought I was crazy. They weren't. I was not talking to nobody. I'm talking about like you talking about socially awkward. There was dudes like Timberland and everybody coming in the studio. I was in my zone. I'm like, I'm gonna make an album that people can really be proud of. I'm gonna sequence this joint. I'm gonna write one of the most creative songs of the year. Or in the past 5 years, I consciously made an effort to do such.
Yeah, but you talk about the work that you're putting in, but what if they don't give a fuck? What if they just ain't into what you're doing? What if that's
and I'm a realist, and I know very well that might be a possibility that just don't like it, because everybody's not gonna like your stuff. But my heart tells me that it's something more than that, and more than my heart. There's actual people. There's people. I don't want to sell no rappers' names, but I got about 5-6 phone calls from other rappers saying this publication don't rock with you, but why do you care? That was the next thing. Why do you care? And I care because I'm trying to do something. I have a very selfless approach to this music thing, man. I want to do this for like the people for real, like not on some maybe kind of on some civil rights stuff. I want to be somebody like that they look at like, yo, he's intellectual, he fly, and he be spitting, like, and he's creative. I want to represent that. And I don't think they're allowing me to do that. I don't think they're allowing me to do that.
Complex can't decide that.
It's a combination of a lot of things. like I said, some of it is on me too. Some of it is my fault. I do got a temper. I do. I've had a temper since, you know, I was in detention center. I was always a wild. I'm making strides at getting better, but I do got a temper. And I think sometimes a lot of people know that, and they troll. You know what I'm saying? So.
And we've had this discussion, and I think you and I had this discussion this morning. You prefer, it seems like, to, and I do it too, dance and wallow and scrap with all that negativity. Right. Like, as soon as negative comes at me, I jump right in. Like, I want that. I want that.
But you don't then go home and think about it. I think cumulatively it adds up for a while.
And I let it add up. Complex ain't the only people that fall. I think they're the most flagrant with it.
Oh no.
But you know, it's you know, like a lot of people don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the thing is, and we're almost having a therapy session right now. But the thing is, it dug so much into my real life that it made me like, it messed with my head. It made me really feel for a couple seconds that I wasn't worth anything. I wasn't worth what these other people are worth that they're mentioning. You know what I'm saying? And that's sad. And that's a major disservice to my fans, because y'all are like, if I have these, whether it's 10 people, 1 million people, 20 people, I got some people that all the way believe in me. And for me to start questioning myself and my own skills or my own talent, it was just like, dang.
Well, don't you think it's, for every snub you get on a list like that, God, in my mind, you got the ultimate compliment this year, in my opinion, not to sound like a dick rider, but by Kendrick giving you that shout out of validation on Control. I'd rather get that from this elite, hands down, we all know one of the elite dudes in the game on record.
I don't think everybody on that list is dope. So
on the list that he said.
Yeah.
Well, still, it doesn't matter. But to him, you don't see that as the same.
But then again, you're mad about Complex's list, and number 4. But hold up, number 4 and number 5. Like you told me, no. I mean, I like Danny Brown. He was number 5 on 50 albums of the year. Danny Brown.
People love Danny Brown's album.
No,
it's opinion,
and that's the point.
And that's the point.
The point is, it is opinion. But I kind of do appreciate, and I just want to say this. And the reason I asked you to come up here today is, see, I appreciate somebody that's gonna bug out a little bit when they put in effort and they don't feel like it's recognized. I like when rappers get upset with me, I want that, right? I want people to be mad that Hot 97 is not playing their music, because that means that what we do matters. But I also want to caution you with that, because now you're making this list from Complex. That emotional outburst validated that list.
I know. That's the very first thing Jay told me. He said, you just validated them. You just made them.
The list is more important now than ever was.
He's like, you let your ego do it, and now you just made that list important. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I had to take. Everybody brought it to me that day. Everybody brought it. I'm talking about Jay, Tata, everybody top to bottom. Q-Tip called me, Primo, you know what I'm saying? So I get like, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like when you do something bad in school and it's like, you come back from suspension and everybody's like, yo, what was you thinking? What was you thinking?
Yo, but isn't that great thing about the people that called you to tell you they were
but
worried about you?
And you're fucking tripping on Complex's list, and Hove hit you on the jack. Like, what are you doing,
you know
my
when
G?
Hove calls me? Never. That's when he calls me. So I think you're going to be all right, man.
I make those guys a lot of money, though.
You do.
So you know what I'm saying? It's a little different.
So what next? What happens next? Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you ain't got a song, if you ain't got a motherfucking album coming, an EP.
I'm bringing something to Flex tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, so tonight on Funk Flex, there'll be a new Wale record.
Yeah, that'll be new.
All right. Well, he's
now you ain't going to be up here Marvin Gaye, and then you about to spit, right?
Nah,
like
I'm giving you boom, boom, bap.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm giving you boom, bap.
Not that there's anything wrong with Marvin Gaye, because I like that record too.
I'm giving you that dreads like haven't been cleaned in 7 months flow.
Is
like
that because
straight out the streets in Lagos, Nigeria rap?
The Nigerian nightmare rap.
Yeah.
That sound like Das Effect straight out the sewer rap.
Christian
Okoye rap.
Papa
Kamala rap.
Kamala. He's the Ugandan giant.
Giant.
And we're about to go do a One Epstein with Wale that we're going to drop on Wednesday, too. So.
I like this. All
right. Ambush?
Yep. You get another interview.
All right, look, Wale. So some people don't like you. You're comfortable with that.
You know, and that's what you cut me off. You asked me a question and let me answer. The thing is, what I'm doing now is I'm like I said, I ain't perfect, and this is something that I'm going to need my real fans to help me with. I'm going to just do it for them now. I'm going to try. I'm not going to say I'm going to do it because this is hard for me. But I'm going to try to just focus all my energy on the people that matter. I heard Allen Iverson say one time when he got into us, he had to get to a place and he had to realize there's a lot of people going to hate me. But if I could just focus on the people that rock with me, I'll be all right. And that's what I'm going to work on. This is like my personal intervention with two people I consider friends to make that step in that direction. Focus on the raps, rip these niggas' head off on these records like I've been doing, talk my shit, but focus on the fans, man. Because I never got no Complex cover. I never got no Rolling Stone cover. I never got no XX cover by myself. I'm on my fourth album.
You only on your which album?
What? I'm about to be on my fourth.
Going on his fourth.
You got plenty of time.
There's niggas that still ain't brought the album.
Yeah, but they may not get a fourth and fifth album just because they got a cover look early.
But I'm just trying to say, one of the main reasons why I'm focusing back on the true Wale fans is because these people have rocked with me to this point, and I've never had that. So really, Complex can't hurt me no more because they've never done anything. They showed their card already. So all these magazines and some of these failing magazines, they can't hurt me no more. I'm not gonna allow them or their bullshit reports or reviews to allow them to cut into my mind or my way of thinking. It's about the motherfuckers that spend their $9.99 on the Wale album. It's the motherfuckers spend $20 to get into a show. The girls just throwing their fucking clean drawers on stage.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
Those weren't clean, sir. Those were not clean.
Two things here I want to ask before we wrap up here. What about, I heard that you were given the opportunity to meet with Complex and avoid them releasing the audio.
That's perception. I don't know. You don't know because that's almost like some like extortion. Like, yo, okay, give us what we want and we won't put it out. Like, yo, what's up, man?
So you said no, you ignored it when they
I just
offered
like, what up? I got to meet with Craig Kalman. I'd rather meet with Craig about my next album because it's like, what are we accomplishing? What y'all trap me, y'all trick me, and then y'all want to get something like.
Right, because who just records phone calls?
Yeah, and who's to say they would have done it anyways? And then there'd been another thing. Oh, we got Wale mad again. Now he's really up here with about 5 dudes, and we scared to leave the building.
What about the legality? Any issues? Were there any concern? Do you have to talk to a lawyer or anything because there is audio of you threatening them?
Whatever.
Nothing happened with that.
I mean, I don't know how them dudes move, man. So that's probably why they want me to meet up.
Come on up here.
I'd be like FBI in that joke. So I don't know. I just right now, man. Like I'm really just trying to work on myself. I'm trying to become wiser, become smarter. Seems like I make a bonehead mistake every year, and it's always under the microscope. But like I said,
you're like
man,
the D Hall. You're like the D Hall of hip hop.
That's like the people, but the people who really understand where it's coming from, this passion, and it's this passionate nigga that's inside of here. They understand. That's why them records is like that. That's why you get Black Heroes. That's why you get Bricks. I got most of the dudes that went to Twain with me. They all gone now.
The reason I like Wale and have defended him in certain circumstances when people didn't understand him well is because of the passion and the love. And that's the thing. Even when there are times when I didn't like the move you made or whatever, I've always known how much you've cared, and that's what's upset you. I now just want to see you as time goes on. I work on this on myself as well. Is being more like him, is really letting shit roll off your back and just not letting people's perception of you affect your own perception of yourself.
Or the ultimate challenge is when a motherfucker doesn't fuck with you and you feel like they have something that's valuable. I go see them. Because most of the time, especially in this day and age where everybody can hide behind an Instagram or a Twitter account or these bloggers that just sit there and write shit, but they don't go to the clubs. They may just go to the shows, but they ain't in the street. They're not from the communities that this music comes from, so they don't necessarily understand it all the time.
And that's another thing Tip was telling me. He was just like, we've allowed a lot of these people to be somewhat gatekeepers that don't know about our environment. They don't know about the culture. They don't know. They romanticize about some of the more ignorant caricatures of our genre and promote that.
Yes.
Oh, let's take Chief Keef to the gun range. That's smart. Chicago got a murder rate that's skyrocketing. Let's take them to the gun range. That'll be cool. Like, they not understanding. You know what I'm saying? Like, they not understanding. Like, on one end, you got to do like Chief Keef. Like, all right, man, it's cool.
You want
like,
the promo.
Yeah. And then y'all going to do that. Like, This ain't 1994, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this murder rate thing is real.
Well, I got news for you. In 1994, it was real too.
It was real too.
They're perpetuating it. They're perpetuating it more, though. You know what I'm saying?
But and before we go, you couldn't have meant what you to bring Juicy J into
and
this
that's
whole
another thing. Like, you know, I stand by it because anybody could have got that dough. Anybody, because I made the best record, and he should feel the same way. Ferg should feel the same way. Action Bronson, everybody should feel the same way. But I apologize to Juicy J just for the simple fact is it felt like it was at his expense.
Right, it was just him.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, I think it's petty though. Like, I think it's petty that Complex did it because I actually look up to Juicy J. He did a record for Slutty Boys mixtape that I'm about to come out with. And he's just he's always been a good dude. But like,
great guy.
Anybody, yeah, I made a better record than you if you watching it. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's a lot of different levels though. Like, there's things in me right now that frustrate the hell out of me that come from fans and some less intelligent people in the media. Like you changed ever since you got the Maybach. That's my #1 pet peeve because Rick Ross does nothing for me on my album except if I need him to call somebody for a feature. And my Rolodex is just as big as his damn near now. So I don't really need that. My topics haven't changed. Black Heroes is a conscious record if you want to label it. Golden Salvation is a conscious record about materialism.
These are people who hate Ross for no good reason.
Exactly.
In the first place, they don't even think he's good.
So
they think he's a sellout. They don't even understand.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like the hip hop fan right now has become almost like a somewhat pretentious, like know-it-all, elitist kind of.
No. Only on the internet. That's a different. We had this conversation. I gotta stop you, my G, because there's people. But there's people who listen to this radio station who are hardworking people. They're 25, 26 years old, and they ain't on the fucking YouTube comments and fucking every article that gets published by this blog. They ain't got time for all that shit. They turn on the radio, they go to the club, they hear the music, they love hip hop, and I refuse to allow one segment of our new and of the new media that now is quote unquote the gatekeeper to determine exactly how the consumer feels.
You don't want them to speak for the consensus.
Yeah, they can't. They can't
But
because there's different worlds.
There's a resounding number of people that think that I'm shaving my intellect or I'm curving my intellect to cater to an audience. I feel like I'm making records just as smart as when I started. Me personally, there's records that I can't listen to on attention deficit because I wasn't as good as a writer. I feel like I've become way better. I've studied more. I've been around some of the legends. I've been around everybody in the studio, dog. Like, I take from them. And I feel like you're doing myself and my fans, again, a disservice. Or not, like I was, because the thing that hurts is when it's somebody who in their heart is a fan. And they're not listening to it with the same ear that you listen to a Kendrick album or a Cole album. Like, you're not listening to it the same because of the Maybach logo or because of the stigma of
that is
Maybach.
A very small percentage though.
I pray it is. I really pray it is. There's going to be people that watch this under this comments on the comments are going to be like, he did change his music.
You're right.
And if they have time to leave comments, and I frequently say this, if you're having time to leave a comment on a YouTube page,
it's complex. Hold on.
You're a fucking loser because nobody does that in real life.
Is that really complex?
No.
Wale, thank you for coming by, my G.
Thank you for having me, HOT97. I appreciate it.